Going to the next point of business research on the page number 21. So page number 31. That is criteria for selection of the problem. How you can select a good problem for your research. The criteria for the selection of research problem. The factors are to be considered in the selection of research problem. Both the criteria, external and personal, external, and there must be an internal. External and internal. Personal that must be rectified. External criteria have to do with such matters as novelty and importance for the field, availability of the data, and institutional or administrative cooperation. And personal criteria involve such considerations as interest, training, cost, and time, etc. Basically, here there are two criteria. The first is external criteria. It means it is directly connected with the outer world. It means this type of criteria, this type of environment is not in control of the researcher. Here, the novelty of any research work, how that particular research title is that particular research title is old or new. It is not in the control of researcher. The availability of the data, it is also external factors, because if there is enough data available in the market, at that time also you can make research on that particular topic. But if you don't have any data related to any particular topic, at that time you cannot create your own data related to that particular topic. So it must be considered why how many external factors are there which influence the research. And the second is personal. In personal data, how much time available to you, what is the efficiency or what is the capability of any researcher, and what is the cost available to that particular research or available to that particular researcher. This type of personal factors also taken into consideration while you select the criteria. So basically, there were 8 criteria related to the selection of research problem is given. The first is novelty and avoidance of unnecessary duplication. The first is novelty and avoidance of unnecessary duplication. There is the question of novelty or newness is not merely one of duplication of earlier investigation. It involves the recency of the data summarized, especially in the case of survey studies and during a period of great economic, educational, and social change. It means your topic, type factor for your problem. Say for example, if we take example of our commerce, basically all the time we will take example related to the commerce because we all are directly connected with the commerce. So it is beneficial for you and beneficial for your future also to take examples directly related to the commerce. If any person, any researcher wants to study on the impact of advertisement on employees or impact of advertisement on customer. This is the old topic. Number of researches have been researched on that particular topic. But if any researcher choose research on any particular topic which is very new, which is very innovative, like the impact of goods and service tax on the traders, what is the effect of demonetization on the general public of the India. These are the topics which is very new. So whenever you want to study on any particular topic, at that time first of all you have to see what is the time factor of that particular topic, and whenever you choose new topics which is very new, which is very innovative and which is very recent, that particular topic will give very few data, but that all the data will be your original data. That should not be copied from anyone. Say for example, if you choose research title, what is the impact of advertisement on the customer? So on this topic, number of researches have been already done. હવે તમારે જે છે એક એડવર્ટાઇઝમેન્ટની જાહેરાતની કોઈ ગ્રાહકો ઉપર અસર શું છે આ વસ્તુ જાણવું હોય તો એના પર ઓલરેડી ઘણા બધા રિસર્ચ થઈ ગયેલા છે. બટ જો તમે એવું કોઈ રિસર્ચ ટોપિક પસંદ કરશો, સે ફોર એક્ઝામ્પલ ઇફ યુ ચૂઝ what is the impact of goods and service tax on the trader of Gujarat, on the trader of Surat city, you can choose different type of the sample for your study. But basically what you are going to study, what is the impact of goods and service tax. So it is a new topic, so there is very few possibility, there is very less possibility that particular data will be copied from another sources, from secondary data. The second is importance for the field representative and implementation. What is the importance for the field representative and implementation? The criterion of importance in choice of a problem involves such matters as significance for the field involved, timelines and practical value in terms of application and implementation of the result. It means what is the effect of that particular field. In field you can basically take any industry, any geographical area, any particular area or any particular group or class. હવે તમારે જે છે ફિલ્ડની અંદર શું હોય તો કે તમે જે જગ્યાએથી ડેટા કલેક્ટ કરવા માંગો છો તો તમારી જે રિસર્ચ પ્રોબ્લેમ છે, ધીસ ઇઝ સેકન્ડ સ્ટેપ. તમારી જે રિસર્ચ પ્રોબ્લેમ છે એ રિસર્ચ પ્રોબ્લેમ જે છે કઈ રીતે ઇફેક્ટ કરે છે તમારી ફિલ્ડ. Say for example, if you are going to study the impact of goods and services on the trade, at that time your research is good, research start. But if you want to study on any topic that is not directly connected with your field, that is not directly connected with your group or class. Say for example, if any person wants to study that what is the effect of luxurious items goods on the lower middle class. જે lower middle class ના લોકો છે એના ઉપર luxurious items ની જે પણ એડવર્ટાઇઝમેન્ટ આવે છે એમની અસર શું થાય છે. So basically this is not a valid research problem. Here you can choose your title according to your preference, according to the class group. Here you can choose a research title like what is the effect of luxurious items goods on the class group of higher level income. જે લોકોની ઇન્કમ હાઈ છે એમના ઉપર લક્ઝરીઝ ગુડ્સ ની જે એડવર્ટાઇઝમેન્ટ થાય એનું ઇફેક્ટ થાય. લોઅર મિડલ ક્લાસ ના કદાચ ઇમ્પેક્ટ થાય બટ એનું કોઈ વેલ્યુ નથી. સો whenever you are trying to choose your research problem, that must be directly connected and that must be valid research problem. Scientific research in education. psychology and social science generally have an especially urgent obligation to play a social role, rendering service to society and humanity. Basically, whenever you are choose your field and how your field will represent that particular class or represent that particular field is very important, and how your research title or how your research topic will directly implement or what is the effect of that particular field, that particular class that must be taken into consideration while you are choosing your research problem. And then the third point is interest, intellectual curiosity and drive. Here, interest means is that a researcher is interested in the field of that research problem. The second is intellectual capacity, intellectual curiosity is that particular research is curious about that particular topic, and the third is drive. What is the force that drive that particular researcher to research on that particular topic? Then all the points must be taken into consideration. So, one of the personal motives of research most frequently mentioned by the scientists themselves is pure curiosity, accompanied by genuine interest and a drive, satisfaction and enjoyment. If you are yourself very much curious about a research topic, at that time that work will very interesting for you. Say for example, you want to connect with any employee and you like that particular work. You want to study on goods and service tax and you really like to work in the taxation area or any other field. તમને જે વસ્તુ ગમતી હોય એ વસ્તુમાં જો તમે રિસર્ચ કરો તો એ તમારા માટે જે છે બહુ ઇમ્પોર્ટન્ટ છે, તમારા માટે જે છે અગત્યનું છે. બટ when you choose your field, when you choose your research title on base of the what is the effect on any particular field. Say for example, you want to study on Britain's exit, that is Brexit, but you are not interested on that particular topic. So at that time, your research will not be that much effective. So first of all, researcher must be interested, and that particular researcher must be curious related to the problem of that particular research work. If any researcher is curious and interested, at that time only, that particular factor will drive that particular researcher to connect with the problem. Now, the fourth point, all the points are already given in your book, so I am not writing that point again on the blackboard. Now, the fourth point is availability of data and method. This is one of the most important things. If you choose any research problem and you don't get any data related to that particular topic, at that time your research problem will totally useless. તમારે કોઈ વસ્તુ પર રિસર્ચ કરવી છે પણ તમને એ રિસર્ચ રિલેટેડ કોઈ પણ ડેટા મળતો જ નથી. Say for example, if you want to study on any particular topic, how the person expend the money which that particular person gain from any illegal activities. You want to study that any person, if they earn money from illegal activities, how that particular person or how that group will expenditure that particular money and in which area. તમારે એવું જે છે રિસર્ચ કરવું છે કે બેઝિકલી કહેવાય છે ને કે જેના વિશે ડેટા તમારી પાસે અવેલેબલ થઈ જ ના શકે. કે કોઈ વ્યક્તિએ ઇલીગલ એક્ટિવિટીઝ માંથી કોઈ પૈસા કમાયેલા છે તો ઇલીગલ એક્ટિવિટીઝ માંથી કમાયેલા પૈસા એ કઈ રીતે ખર્ચ કરે છે. તો કોઈ પણ વ્યક્તિ ક્યારે પણ સ્વીકારશે નહીં કે એમની જે પાસે પૈસા કમાયેલા છે એ ઇલીગલ એક્ટિવિટીઝ માંથી છે. So here you can not get data from any sources, or if you choose any topic which is very, say for example, if you choose the data which is very useful, for example, cloud accounting. Currently in the market, there is very few information available related to the cloud accounting. And if you choose your research title related to the cloud accounting, it is very original. But here, the information related to the cloud accounting, that is very rare. You will have to work hard to get information related to any new topic. So whenever you choose your topic, first of all you have to see whether you will get data related to that particular topic or not. The data under consideration must meet certain standards of accuracy, objectivity and verifiability. This is also important. The data is collected by the researcher that must be accurate. It means that must be collected from the valid sources. The second is objectivity. That particular data must fulfill the objective of the researcher. And the third is verifiability. That data must be verified. If you collect the data and that data is objectively, or that data has objectivity, but that data could not be verified by any researcher or by any statistical formula, at that time your data will not be accurate, your data will not be right. तो તમારો ડેટા જે છે સાચો કહી શકાય નહીં. તમારો ડેટા જે છે એ સૌથી પહેલા તો એક્યુરેટ હોવો જોઈએ. બીજા નંબરમાં ઓબ્જેક્ટિવિટી એનામાં હોવી જોઈએ, મીન્સ કે તમારા જે હેતુઓ છે એ હેતુઓને સાર્થક કરવો જોઈએ. અને ત્રીજા નંબરમાં વેરીફાયેબલ, એટલે કે એમને વેરીફાઈ કરી શકવો જોઈએ. આવો જો ડેટા હોય તો તમારો ડેટા સાચો કહેવાય. નેક્સ્ટ, the fifth point, that is special equipment and working condition. The major purpose of equipment is to find the process of observation to provide control of condition, accuracy or performance of recording. The equipment which is used by the researcher that must give the accurate result. Say for example, if you use SPSS software, basically all the researchers currently use SPSS software to analyze the data. And currently in the market, SPSS software is one of the most accurate software which gives one of most accurate result to the researcher. So here, whenever you choose your software, your equipment, that must be very much accurate. The sixth point, sponsorship and administrative cooperation. It is a common practice for the basis to be sponsored by a faculty advisor in whose area is specialized problem lies. Specialization, the problem lies. It means sponsorship and administrative cooperation. First of all, who sponsor your research work? When very big companies are doing the research, at that time there were some companies or there were some organization who sponsor that particular research work. So first of all, you must be aware about the sponsorship. If someone sponsors your research work, at that time you just need to give your excellence in the research. You don't need to give your money in the research work, and you will also get some other facilities if you are giving your if someone sponsors your research work. So this is also taken into consideration. And how administrative support you will get while you are researching something. If your higher level authorities, if the administration will not give you the support related to your research work, that will also cause so much problems in your research work. So this is also taken into consideration. The seventh is cost and returns. The candidate must consider carefully his own financial resources in the light of such facilities and assistance as can be provided by the institutions. The institution is that particular institution will give the financial assistance to the researcher or not. Or if the researcher or if the institution give the financial assistance, how much financial assistance will get by that particular researcher, that must be first consider. अगर कोई व्यक्ति ने જે કોઈ ઇન્સ્ટિટ્યૂટ માંથી ફાઇનાન્શિયલ અસિસ્ટન્ટ મળે છે કે મીન્સ કે એમને ત્યાંથી પૈસા મળે છે કે રિસર્ચ કરવા માટે એ જોવું પડે છે, કારણ કે જો રિસર્ચરે પોતે જ બધા જ પૈસા ખર્ચ કરવાના હશે તો તમે જો બહુ વધારે એમાં તમારો સ્કોપ હશે તો તમારે ઘણા બધા ખર્ચ થશે અને ઘણી બધી વખત એવું બની શકે કે તમારા પાસે પૈસાના અભાવના કારણે તમારે રિસર્ચ કરવું જોઈએ. If this type of situation arises when you have to stop your research because of scarcity of money, so this is not right and this will affect your research very badly. So before starting the research you must analyze overall cost and is that cost will assisted by any organization or firm or not. And the eighth and most important is time factor, because whenever any researcher start any activity, any research, that particular researcher has limited time. He cannot do research especially in social sciences until the last year. કોઈ વ્યક્તિ જે છે હંમેશા માટે રિસર્ચ કરી શકતો નથી, તો એને ટાઈમ ફેક્ટર કેટલો છે એ પણ જોવાનું હોય છે. sometimes you will have 1 year, sometimes you will have less time and the 1 year, or sometimes you have very limited time. If we talking about PhD, if we talking about PhD, so when you are doing the research in PhD, so basically you have minimum of 3 years and maximum of 7 years. તમે PhD કરતા હો તો તમારે મિનિમમ 3 વર્ષનો સમયગાળો અને મેક્સિમમ જે છે તમારી પાસે કેટલો સમયગાળો હોય, મેક્સિમમ તમારી પાસે 7 વર્ષનો તમે રિસર્ચ કરી શકો. એના પછી જે છે તમે રિસર્ચ કરી શકો નહીં, તમારે રજિસ્ટ્રેશન ફરીથી કરવું પડે. બટ if you are doing research in MPhil, તમારે ઇન્સ્ટિટ્યૂટમાં કરતા હો તો તમારી પાસે 1 વર્ષનો સમયગાળો હોય. if you are practically research for any particular company, તમે કોઈ કંપની માટે જે છે રિસર્ચ કરવા માંગો છો, at that time you will have time regarding your problem. તમારી પાસે પ્રોબ્લેમ કેવી છે એના રિલેટેડ કંપનીના લક્ષીમાં તમારી પાસે ટાઈમ હશે. સો whenever you are starting your research, before starting the research you must have idea about how much time you have available to research. As a general rule, the minimum amount of graduate work for the master's degree is 2 years and for the degrees, doctor's degree 5 years. For the master you have 2 years, but now here they have mentioned for the doctorate degree you have 5 years, but now the condition has changed. અત્યારે PhD માટે change થઈ છે. minimum you have 3 years and maximum you have to complete your research work in 7 years. Now the second question is explain the meaning and concept of hypothesis. On the page number 32, question number 2, that is explain the meaning and concept of hypothesis. So on the page number 32, introduction of this question. Introduction of hypothesis. What is hypothesis? When the question of social science or management research or both arise, formation of hypothesis and its testing plays an important role immediately after the identification of the research problem. Means when you identify the research problem in which field and which type you have to research on any topic, so how that particular research topic or research problem has effect on your particular thing, that must be studied. Say for example, what is hypothesis? If you want to know the meaning of hypothesis in the general sense, it means the hypothesis is general assumptions related to any topic. Say for example, if we want to study on the impact of goods and service tax, here what would be your research hypothesis? Your research hypothesis is there is a significant difference on trader by using goods and service tax, and your alternate hypothesis is there is no significant difference of using goods and service tax on the trader. Basically, it is an assumption that if that particular thing will affect on that particular situation or environment or not. Hence, identification of research problem and formation of hypothesis are considered as the foundation of social science or management research. In the social science and in the management research, the hypothesis framing is the best. The hypothesis તમારે બનાવો છો એ જે છે એ social science ની અંદર એ જે છે બેઝ છે એ પાયો છે. Therefore, both are regarded as the two sides of a same coin by the researcher. So here, the hypothesis framing is the two sides of any research problem. Say for example, first of all, you have to identify the research problem. That is the one side, and the another side is you have to frame hypothesis which is directly related to your problem. So, identifying the research problem and the framing of hypothesis, these are the two sides of one coin. The formulation of correct hypothesis is a very crucial step in the process of research. The success and the failure of any research study depends largely upon how best the hypothesis has been formulated by the researcher. Your hypothesis selection is one of the most important thing in the research work, and if you select the hypothesis excellently, at that time your research work will be good, and if you are failed to select best hypothesis, to frame best hypothesis, at that time your research work will not give result as per your wish, as per your desire. So hypothesis selection must be done very constantly. Hypothesis is the relationship between two or more variables assumed for exploring the problem and finding solution thereof. What is hypothesis here? The meaning of hypothesis is given. It is the basically relationship between two variables. It means how one variable is effect on another variable, and we are just making a relationship between two variables assumed for exploring the problem or finding solution. Say for example, what is hypothesis? First of all, you have to identify the relationship between two variables. So here you will get the problem, and how you will get the solution for that particular problem, it will be mentioned in the hypothesis. Problem formulation is interrelated to hypothesis development. A social scientist or a management scientist involves solution of problems and arriving at correct decision for the survival and growth of the society. In case of social science, research for organization. In case of management research, hence a researcher needs to develop hypothesis related to the research problem. It means research problem and hypothesis framing both are interconnected. When you choose your research problem, at that time, with the choosing of your research problem, you have to identify how you will frame your hypothesis. Because whenever you are trying to research on any topic, at that time there must be something new. That's why you are doing research on that particular topic. So, in the management and in the social science, in both the studies, you must have idea about how you can choose your hypothesis and how you will particularly how your hypothesis will affect on your research. That must be clear in your mind. After that, meaning of hypothesis. What is meaning? The word hypothesis is made up of two Greek roots, which mean that it is some part of sub-statement, for it is the presumptive statement of a proposition which the investigation seeks to prove. What is hypothesis? Hypothesis basically means it is the proposition or it is the assumption which any researcher wants to prove their hypothesis. Say for example, if you are making any hypothesis, how researcher will make hypothesis, it will be studied later. But how any researcher will make a hypothesis and how that hypothesis will be measured and how that hypothesis can be proved, it will be studied in this question. The remaining concept related to the hypothesis will be studied in our next video. Thank you.